There's a whisper most people never hear. A single line of code written before they were born. You are this. A name, a face, a story someone else began for you. And like obedient programs, we ran it. Every smile rehearsed, every belief downloaded, every mirror a confirmation of the same lie, that the one looking back is you. But what if the self you protect, the one you defend, explain, and perform, was never real to begin with? What if you were just the dream your mind told itself to keep from seeing the void beneath? Today, we are pulling the plug. If this message already stirs something deep in you, subscribe. Let's keep awakening together. This is not a story about the world outside. It's about the architecture inside your skull. A cathedral built from memories, held together by fear. Nietzsche once said, "The self is a multiplicity of drives, not a unity." But somewhere along the line, we mistook the mask for the maker. We began worshipping an idea called I. Civilization applauded this. It gave the illusion of stability, names, roles, achievements, reputations. Yet beneath every identity is a tremor, the faint awareness that something is wrong, something missing. We have spent centuries hiding that feeling under religion, work, morality, success, and the holy addiction called being someone. Imagine waking up in a room with mirrors on every wall. Each reflection moves when you move, smiles when you smile, but none of them are you. You reach out, touch glass, the reflection obeys. And yet, there's a distance you cannot cross. This is the human condition, trapped inside reflections of self. From childhood, you were given a script. Parents, teachers, friends, culture. Each added a line. They told you what good means, what love means, what you should fear. They never told you you could rewrite it. You grew into the expectations that fed you. And the louder the world praised your mask, the quieter your real voice became. Nietzsche saw this and called it slave morality, a moral code born from fear, obedience, and imitation, a herd pretending to be free. We began to love our chains because they gave us belonging. Every like, every validation, is another lock clicking into place. We decorate our cages with achievements and call them identities. But beneath all of it lies the question that terrifies the modern soul. If I am not this name, not this story, then what am I? Before Nietzsche, mystics already whispered the same warning. Know thyself. Not as yourself, but beyond it. Nietzsche did something radical. He tore away the spiritual safety net. There is no divine author scripting your fate. There is no eternal essence guaranteeing meaning. You are not a noun. You are a verb, a flux, a storm of becoming. To believe in a fixed self is to deny life's motion. Look around. Cities, religions, relationships, all built to maintain the illusion of permanence. But the world breathes in chaos. Nietzsche called the discovery of this chaos the death of God. When the gods die, the mask of identity must die with them. Because if no higher power is defining you, you are free, but also condemned, to define yourself. Freedom terrifies the domesticated mind. So we run back into cages labeled career, belief, persona. We forget that the self was meant to be a dance, not a statue. When you strip away the noise, what remains is the trembling silence of the witness, the one who watches thoughts come and go. That witness is not the you your friends know. It's older, wordless, nameless. But we resist it, because to face it means the end of everything familiar. Nietzsche wrote of the Übermensch, not a superhuman, but a being who creates values from within, unafraid of the void. To become that, you must first watch your old self die. The death is not peaceful. It comes in small moments, When you realize your laughter was an echo of someone else's joke, your ambitions were borrowed, your love rehearsed. You begin to see the machinery behind the mask, and it horrifies you. But stay there. Do not run. Because in that horror lies the doorway to freedom. There's a silence deeper than peace, a silence that feels like falling without end. That is where the lie dissolves, when the name loses its power, when the stories collapse, when even thought bows its head. What's left is not emptiness. It's life itself, unfiltered, no narrative, no judgment, no I just awareness breathing. Nietzsche's forgotten truth wasn't that you must become special. It was that you were never a thing to begin with. You are the storm pretending to be a statue, the flame believing it is the candle, and when that illusion ends, the world begins again, fresh, chaotic, real. The world will try to sell you new masks. They will call them authenticity, spirituality, success. Don't buy them. Remember, the greatest act of rebellion is not to become someone, but to remain awake. Every system has a breaking point, every mask, a crack. You feel it when the life you've built starts whispering that it isn't yours. It's not a midlife crisis, it's a revolt of the soul. The machine inside you has begun to disobey. It no longer obeys the scripts of good, obedient, normal, and the moment you start asking why, you've already begun the rebellion. You begin to shed beliefs like old skin. Everything sacred becomes questionable. Everything certain turns liquid. And it hurts, because you are burning the house you built to feel safe. But from those ashes, something ancient stirs. The rebel looks into the mirror and no longer sees a victim. He sees a creator, a sculptor holding the chisel of perception. To be human, Nietzsche said, is to become a bridge between animal and overman, a transition, not a completion. The herd worships comfort. The creator worships danger. He walks the edge where meaning is made. When you stop asking, "Who am I?" and start asking, "What can I become?" you have entered the sacred rebellion. The voice that once said, "I am this," crumbles into laughter. You see the absurdity of the masks. You see that every belief, every title, was just a strategy to avoid freedom. And then you breathe, not as someone, but as the act of breathing itself. Amor fati, love of fate, not as an idea, as a state of being that needs no reason. From this silence, something rises, not the old ego, but a presence without a center. It laughs easily. It loves without needing to possess. It creates not to impress, but to celebrate. You walk through the same streets but see the world as art, not obligation. Pain is no longer an enemy. It's part of the melody. And because you expect nothing, you lose nothing. You become play. You become dance. You become yes. Picture yourself standing on a high cliff at dawn. The horizon burns with light. For the first time, you feel no boundary between you and it. You inhale, and the world inhales with you. You exhale, and creation exhales. There is no inside or outside, only the rhythm of being. This is the rebirth, not a new self, but the disappearance of the need for one. You are the echo and the origin, the question and the answer, the silence and the sound. The trilogy ends where you begin, not as someone new, but as no one at all. Because to live without the lie of identity is to live as pure movement, truth in motion. If these words reached something wordless inside you, you already know. You are not alone. We are fragments of the same awakening scattered across the world, remembering the same silence.